Namaste, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this edition of The Right Stand. It's a big day. It's a big day that could alter the course of geopolitics, and it could have a direct impact on Bharat, ladies and gentlemen. Indian who is in Moscow at this point on the Russia-Ukraine conflict, and that's Aarti Tikku, founder and editor-in-chief of the New Indian. She'll be joining us. I have Dr. Sergey Dvoryanov. He is the president of IDC Russia and director WHD International Board. Joining us from Moscow, and Ambassador Parthasarathi, former diplomat, also joining us. Namaste, gentlemen. Thank you very much. And we'll have Aarti Tikku joining us in a bit. But Dr. Dvoryanov, many believe Russia has violated all laws. The world is looking at Russia as a nation that has trampled upon another nation's rights. And this is nothing but land grab. How would you want to respond to these accusations? Because Russia believes it's done all it has to do under Vladimir Putin to protect its sovereignty and its own identity and its own interests.
Yes, my vision, not only my, but vision of all experts inside Russia and outside Russia who knows history very well, who knows deeply history, that Russia is only one country right now, the guarantee of the peace, the global peacemaker, we can tell, because even during the Soviet Union time, you know this very well, Soviet Union and Russia especially always support some small nation, not only in Asia, also in Africa, in different countries. And small countries, they have some, their choice, their will, national will. And that's why we can see that population of eastern part of Ukraine, they speaks Russian language. Before, that part of land belonged to Russia. If you will see, if you can make some research of the history, you know this very well. That's why Vladimir Putin did this special operation to support this population who speaks Russians and belong to Russian culture, to Russian traditions, to Russian civilization, to Russian world. And during last 8 years, all Europe and Western countries, they completely was blind. They never take care about this conflicts, about this catastrophe. And that's why from Russian side, it was a completely wisdom decision from our government to support this population. And right now, it's historical moment. I'm so proud of my country. I'm so proud that right now, all the challengers from the Western countries to all eastern part of the world, we can be in the right balance. We can be in the justice. We can support the humanity. That is most important, because
but Dr.
it's
Dvoryanov,
only question to support population.
But Dr. Dvoryanov, 219 days of war. It started from 8 years from 2014, since the annexation of Crimea. But at what cost? An entire nation lies destroyed. Millions of people stand displaced in Ukraine. Russia can't say that it is only America and Vladimir Zelensky to blame. Because Russia is accused of war crimes. Russia is accused of killing civilians, innocents, in Bucha and so many other places. And Russia moved to, control and militarily move not just at this 18%, it moved to nearly about 25-26% of Ukrainian territory. It wanted to annex far more. It has settled for this region. That's the allegation. How would you want to respond to that?
First of all, I cannot use this word annexation. Of course not. That all traditional lands of Russia come back to Russian world. That's the most important. Crimea, before you know this very well, was given by the Khrushchev, Nikita Khrushchev, who was a completely not predictable guy, and he gave this part of Russian civilization to Ukraine. It was especially we can see like a bomb, in the geopolitical bomb even. Right now, Vladimir Putin, he took the very nice decision, proper decision. Mainly Western countries, they wash brain of the Western population regarding this. It's not a war. It's completely, you know this very well. Who wins the Hitler? Who wins this Nazi? Russia. Who always support small nations in Africa? Russia. always we can receive only one proper answer for all the questions. Who's a big global peacemaker right now in the modern age? Russia. I'm very proud to be Russian, and I'm very proud right now that eastern part of the world population, it become more wisdom, and all this wash brain of the Western media not have any effect.
Now, this is what the Russia-Ukraine war, it is India's stand. 16th of September, Prime Minister Modi told President Putin at the SCO, today's era is not a war. We just had Ambassador Parthasarathi mention that. France and US backing India. We had the External Affairs Minister Subramaniam Jaishankar at UN saying matter of profound concern for the world. Stop hostilities, return to dialogue and diplomacy. No justification for violation of human rights and international law. There's a need for independent and objective investigations. Now, this is what India's point of view is, because human beings, civilians, innocents are caught in the crossfire. So, Dr. Sergey, does that not weigh upon Russia?
First of all, I want to say that if you have a good memory, not short memory, you can understand how many jewels, how many stones on the crown of the Queen Elizabeth was stolen from Indian treasures. And right now we can see that India becomes the fifth economy, and right now United Kingdom becomes the sixth economy of the world. It's a karma, if you believe to karma, come back to the United Kingdom and to the eastern, to the western part of the world right now. We can see is a lot of challengers, not to Russia, to Western countries. That's why that they're fighting Ukraine. Ukraine is not a question about a conflict between Russia and Ukraine. You know this very well. You know who is the partnership. The most beneficial country right now in the world who take a lot of benefits from this conflict, of course, United States of America. But Europe is completely destroyed, and United Kingdom also. You know this very well. You can see what happened with the pounds, with the currency of United Kingdom. Right now, I completely agree with the previous speaker that only one way is sit to the table and make good negotiations with a peacemaking dialogue together. But in this case, the role of the mission, we can say, of India, India can be the peacemaker, the global peacemaker. India can support UK even, support Europe, because Europe and UK, like right now, they're suffering a lot because of the energy crisis, because of the destruction of the economy, everything. I can see that Mr. Modi, he's a very wisdom guy. He's following to the traditions, he's doing yoga. He's like a spiritual leader of the world. He can propose to all European leaders, to UK leaders, make a strongly negotiation to sit to the table. And right now, all Russian lands.
So, but is Russia ready to sit?
Not annexion. I completely believe to the peacemaking conversation, peacemaking dialogue.
Is Russia ready to sit at the dialogue table? Russia, see, the whole story is that it's Russia that's pushing the conflict. Is that true? Or is Russia sitting open to sitting at the table and sorting this out?
Right now, current situation, yes, Russia bring all this our lands and protect our Russian population on the eastern part of Ukraine. Now we are happy to protect our population. We are ready for the conversation. We are ready to dialogue. But dialogue cannot be happened without the participation of other countries. If India sincerely will help to Europe, will help to Russia, we can bring peace to the Europe. I completely believe to this, and that role of India right now is the most important role. I believe that Narendra Modi, like a spiritual leader, can bring peace to the Europe. I believe to this.
I thank you, Arti Tikkuji, Ambassador Parthasarathi, and Dr. Dvoryanov. Thank you for your time and for your views.